What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Uncle Daddy Luke, Lucas Invader, Lucas Hunter, whatever you want to call me. And I'm doing another video on Dragon Ball FighterZ. Now today, what I've been saying in my past couple of videos is people say the game is dead, people say the game is this. But to be honest with you, it is some things in this game that is kind of fucked up. And I think that they should change. But people do forget that this game is a new in its series. It's not like Street Fighter 2 to 3 to 4 to 5, and you already know what kind of makes a character good, especially if it's a returning character. No, it's literally new sprites, not new sprites, but new character design, new character, everything. And they kind of had to figure it out through test, trial, and error. And the betas help with that, but us as players have to also help them figure out, too, what's too broken, i.e., Bardock being able to gel in Teleriot without EX, i.e. Kid Buu. I mean, he's just a fucked up character, but they've toned him down and he's still one of the best characters. So to me, these are the things that I think they should change when they do the next balance patch. I think for the game, they should do one more balance patch and then that'd be it. Then we look forward to the Super Dragon Ball Fighters or Dragon Ball Fighters 2, whatever. And this is after these changes, after the next balance patch, after this season pass, I think we should be done with the game. And these are the things that I think would help with the overall health of the game until that new Dragon Ball FighterZ comes out. So let's get started. And I think the first thing that is possibly the biggest thing that everybody gripes about in this game is Super Dash. They definitely need to change it. With me, I wrote down a list of the things I want to talk about. And literally before just starting this video, I kind of thought of a good idea. You know how honestly key charging in this game is pretty much useless. I've literally only seen key charging once, and it was in Evo Grand Finals or Evo Winners Finals, whatever it was when Sonic Fox did it. To me, Vanish is okay. Vanish is good as is. It should not be changed. But Super Dashing, I would honestly combine the two in some kind of way with key charging and super dashing. What I was thinking is when you key charge, you'll be able to do a super dash. But with that key charge, you're taking away that meter that you just did it for. So should super dash cost meter? I think so. I think it should cost at least half meter, and that key charge gives you that exact half meter that you need to super dash. But with that, people will be able to tell that you're fixing to super dash. So also, you can either key charge and hold it to where you don't have to super dash right after, or you can key charge for that half of the bar that it lets you key charge for, and then you can let go, and then you'll super dash. So you can either keep the meter, or you can do the gain the meter that you need for the super dash and do the super dash. So I think that'd be a cool way to incorporate it, to have key charging also be a staple towards the game because it's actually useless. And also as well, if you don't want to do that, then there needs to be some kind of indication that someone's finna super dash, that they're getting ready to do it and they're just not doing it. I think it's what, 11 frame startup. It should definitely not be 11 frames, around 20 or so. I think, at least, I don't want to say half. I think a key charge is what, 30s, a half a second, literally a half a second. Somewhere in the 20-ish, if that's the lowest I would go. But also, too, raw tag is pretty much the same thing as a super dash. There has to be some kind of indication that an opponent is finna raw tag. They, like Goku, he always puts his two fingers up to his head and he always says goodbye symbol or saluting or whatever, something like that before a character raw tags, before they bring in another character, to where it gives you an indication that they're fixing to do it, and they just don't get away with it for free. So I think that's the number one thing in the game that everybody gripes about, that they do have to somewhat change some way. Now, also talking about that, some things that they took away from the game. I honestly didn't mind the meter gain penalty when they first implemented it, but tying it to what else I think that should be back in the game that they took away from is double level 1 supers. Characters like Tien and Goku got really hit that people literally stopped playing them, that they had to give them something else for them to be able to make up for them not being able to do level 1 supers. That was literally the reason why people would put those characters on their team, so they would be able to kill faster. So to me, it just helped for character roster diversity, team building diversity, and it was good for the health of the game because it made the game go faster as well. So I think they should definitely bring it back. If not meter, if you don't get a meter game penalty, if they don't want to bring that back, I'm on the fence about it. But they definitely should bring back being able to do 2 level 1 supers for character diversity, roster diversity, team building diversity, for that to help it not stagnate. And you don't just have to play the top 6 or 7 characters in the game to be able to be competitive. Also, too, I do want them to bring back Ghost Oki. I do want them to bring back some of the nerfs that they gave out to characters like a Gotenks, like Majin Buu. Man, those were some of the best aspects of the game. Majin Buu was borderline, could have been S tier possibly now if the meta of the game would have stayed the way it was. But with them making him airborne to where he doesn't get the Oki anymore, them nerfing Gotenks to hell, the having 5 lights be overhead, that was kind of excessive. That was right. But I think they put some of these characters in the dirt, like also Android 18 with her post level 3 mix up. Android 16's post level 3 mix up. I think those are things that Android 16, he's like a great point character, but they fucked up his assist. His assist is pretty much useless now. He's a strict point character. So to give them some of the things that they took back, it would be great if they looked over that to where I don't know if Bardock still needs his post level 3 mix up, but an Android 18 definitely needs it. I wouldn't mind an Android 16 with his post level 3 mix up. Goldtakes, like I've already said, he had really good post level 3 mix up before they nerfed him. I think he was literally the first character that they nerfed for post level 3 mix ups. So for them to just overlook all the things that they took away from these characters to possibly bring back, I mean, look at Trunks. He literally doesn't get his assist used to be borderline top 5 in the game because you used to be in hit stun for so long, but now it's blown to hell. Look at base Goku. His opponent gets to be in hit stun for a half a second. Why can't Trunks get that back as well? To where there it goes again, being able to have more team diversity and team building mechanics to where people want to play more characters than just the top 7 in the game. Now, this next thing that I would change about the game is probably the number one thing that if the devs came to me, they came to me myself, and I'm just answering the question that said, if you wanted one thing to change about this game, if you wanted to implement something new in this game, what would it be? This would be my answer, and I think this would be a lot of people's answer. And I think that is to give characters more than one assist. Look at Blue Goku. Look at Android 16. Look at Krillin. These are designated point characters that aren't better than Bardock or Kid Buu, but you have to play them point because their assists are so horrible. Even Janemba, that just came out. So if you gave Blue Goku his cross up kick punch or whatever, if you gave Krillin, I mean, people say that's the easy way out for it. Krillin players, I think Dato Doya or JMC Crofts, JM Crofts says about him, if you just give him freaking solar flare as an assist, that wouldn't just make him more diverse. They wouldn't like that. But I mean, look at Rock. It's completely useless unless it's for combo. They gave it more hit stun unless it's in the middle of a combo strings. But it's literally useless to throw out in neutral. If Krillin could get you to freeze, give Tien Chaozu assist for him to be able to call out Chatsu, I think that would be the absolute best way for there to be more character diversity in this game. Obviously, there will be literally S tier characters that they will give assists. I think if Krillin had Solar Flare assist, that could possibly be a top 10 assist in this game. So obviously, it might be kind of broken for team mechanics and team setups, but that's just us as players as what we should be able to figure out. And if they want to go back and look over it as devs, then they should. But like I said, with this last balance patch that they'll probably do, I want them to be done with it and just let the game live as it is until they give us a new game in the franchise. So with that, like I said, I think assists would be the number one thing I would want to change to help character team diversity. Why do I always say character? To help characters that you don't see a lot be able to get onto teams. Look at a Psylocke in MVC2. She's absolute garbage, but her assist is the best in the game, and it finds her ways onto teams. If you gave Krillin Solar Flare and he's able to stop characters literally from super dashing at you, then yeah, I wouldn't mind that at all. I would love to see that the most. So those first couple of topics I brought up was dealing with team building and team variety. But these next couple of topics, I think about until the end of the video, is actually more specific onto characters. And the number one thing specific that they need to change for characters is that there's no way in hell that Broly, a character that can get fuzzied, even Zamasu, whose neutral isn't the greatest. I mean, he can bypass neutral with flight, but there's no way in hell his health should be the exact same as a Kid Buu or a GT's. They should have different health value for bigger characters, more health, of course, maybe like 1200, and then GT Goku, Kid Buu, Gotenks, if they bring him back from the dead, 9000, 8500. There's just no way in hell that these health values should be the exact same throughout the whole cast. But look what I brought up with just the past couple of points that I try to make. In BB Tag, bigger characters have more health value, and a character like Seth or Blade that are Oki or mix up monsters have less health. And in BB Tag, what every character has 4 assists. So it's some things that BB Tag has done extremely well that Dragon Ball Fighters should definitely look at and try to incorporate into either the new game or into this new balance patch that they'll eventually end up doing. And also, too, with me bringing that up, also maybe another one of the big staples to this game, one of the biggest negatives is that the two LOs, I don't honestly know. Honestly, I say this straight up as a Trunks main. If you gave Trunks a 2L and you gave him his flip Oki and be able to call assists, he'll probably be a top 5 character in this game. And Goku Black with his teleport mix ups, possibly Janemba too. But I don't think that's a bad game. That's a bad thing at all. Obviously, this game was supposed to be beginner friendly for people who are just Dragon Ball fans to be able to help them to get into the game and not get ran over by somebody online. But that happens regardless. And I mean, look at MVC3. We're not going to have another Virgil in this game. People tried to cry out for Goku Black was going to be the new Virgil in this game when they saw his teleports and at before the game released. But getting our hands on him, even if he did have a 2-0 low, he would not be anywhere near the class of what Virgil is. Virgil is probably like a top 10 character in a fighting game ever. So to me, if at least you don't want to give them a 2-0 low because you think that'll be too much for the character, give them more command normals. This game stagnates so much because everybody pretty much has the same exact combo routes. With the new DLC that they've been given, that they put out this season 2, they don't have the exact same combo routes. They have kind of like Cells 2H where they go across the screen instead of going up, most of the characters. But it's still, regardless, those characters feel like those are the characters that you're playing, and the ones that have 2H's that you launch straight up and do the regular combo route for. It's just more diversity. So the characters need more command normals and more special moves. If you can't do more special moves and they're sticking to just the quarter circle forward, a quarter circle back motion for the characters, then at least more command normals. That's something too that I think they definitely have to change in Dragon Ball Fighters 2 is giving these characters more special moves and incorporating half circles. You definitely have to incorporate half circles in some way, some aspect. I know they do they do 2-2-S for a lot of characters, but also maybe even a 2-2 LMH, and you able to EX those moves as well. But that's just something that they definitely have to look forward to. I'm really not just saying that as of something that they can change for the next balance patch coming up, but something that for in the future when when the sequel comes out, something that they definitely need to look at. Let me just make this one of the last something that they should look into for the new balance patch that they do is that, I mean, the burst, the sparking burst, it should definitely be able to use as a regular burst. I mean, it's an anime game. Any way you want to slice it, it's Dragon Ball. You can either use the sparking offensively or defensively while you're getting comboed. You can use your sparkling burst to get out of the combo, or you can use it in the middle of a combo, or you can use it in block stun. All of three of those, I think, should be viable options for you to be able to use your sparkling burst. And now the last point I want to make that's wrong with Dragon Ball Fighters and that they should change in Fighters 2. I don't think they'll be able to change it going into just a new balance patch for the game, but definitely for Fighters 2 is to just take the training wheels off the game, man. I don't know how these company brands, especially actually Arc System Works, has kind of been at the forefront of it. I mean, you can kind of say Street Fighter V is dumbed down, but it has 3 frame links, and they still have Shoryu inputs. They still have full Zangief command grabs, his full input, his whole circle forward, or whatever it's called for him. The game isn't dumbed down. It's simpler. And to me, to make the game just as absolute nut shit as you want it to, and for more people to get into it, take the training wheels off the game, man. Take off cross up protection for assists. Let you put in Kid Buu assist, and you're able to get a 4-way mix up, not just a 2-way mix up. Let there be just fucked up scenarios that people can be in. Look at MVC2. It's one of the most skewed tier list, and even MVC3 before Infinite. Actually, Infinite has a lot of fucked up shit in it too, but people just still love it and play it to this day. And to not have that as an option, yeah, you can still open people up, but people that are beginner friendly, if they really like the game a lot, they'll learn to adapt. You should not adapt for newer players. And I think that's what a lot of game developers right now are getting wrong, especially Arc System Works. Actually, is probably what I'm just talking about mostly, is that you should have newer players. I mean, look at Eunice. Also a better training mode, man. Look at Eunice. Eunice has crossover protection, yes, but it's not having them. It's not, the game isn't developed for newer players. The players have to be able to change themselves into learning the game itself. They have the best training mode ever. And I think Guilty Gear has the second best training mode ever. Where did that get missed out in Dragon Ball? Why are you dumbing down the game for new players to be able to come in where they can spam Super Dash and be able to win a match, but you're not teaching them the actual fundamentals of a fighting game? I just don't understand how Arc System Works has done this the past couple of times. BB Tag, but I really don't know a lot about BB Tag, but just me going to Dragon Ball. BB Tag, they dumbed down too. But Dragon Ball FighterZ, I just feel like they just dumbed it down all the way. Obviously, combos get dropped regardless. Goichi is the best player in the game, and he still drops combos with quarter circle forward movements, quarter circle back movements, all that bullshit. But still, you're not giving players the implications to another fighting game, and you're just going to have them fighters' heads super dashing all the time. So to me, that's something that they should look at into too. Also, real anti-airs, real DPs, give more characters DPs. Air DPs are kind of cursed, to be honest with you. Vegeta's, and who else has an air DP? Videl. That's kind of whatever to me. But if you're able to do it in the air, make it be the actual Shoryu input and not just a quarter circle movement, to where they earn that if they call that super dash out in the air and can use it. But last thing too, auto combos, tracking, and coming out on whiff, that's got to go. I don't know if it's going to be in this update, the next balance patch they do, or in the new game, but that has got to go. You cannot just mash a button. Exactly, that's just what I've been saying. That's you teaching a player how to play Dragon Ball FighterZ and not how to play video games. Fighting games. You have to get rid of that, and that just does no good for anybody. Having Bardock with LLLL until he finally gets a hit. Having Janemba's auto combo looks just as fucked up. GT Goku's auto combo looks just as bad. You have to teach them real implication of fighting games and not just having them mash on buttons, can super dash everywhere, and all the other things that I've noted in this video that I think is wrong with FighterZ. But thank you guys. These videos are always kind of longer because, man, FighterZ is where my heart is at, truly and honestly. And I've been playing again. Trunks main, with the Trunks boys, change the future. So Janemba's alright, but I don't know if he's any decent enough for me to change it for Bardock, to be honest with you. My team is Bardock, Trunks, Goku. I would play Janemba, Trunks, Goku, Super Saiyan Goku, but I don't know if I just want to go through those trials and errors with Janemba right now at the moment. Maybe Gogeta, Broly eventually one day, but I think I'm just going to stick with Bardock. But thank you guys for tuning into this video. I'm tuned in, now I'm tuning out. Thank you guys. See you later.